Why do men who don't seem to care about girls often become so magnetic to them? It's a paradox we see all the time. Society might label these men as cold, arrogant, or even emotionally broken. But what if there's a deeper psychology at play? What if this apparent indifference isn't a strategy, but the natural result of a man who is complete on his own? This isn't about playing hard to get or being a jerk. Forget the games. This is about the raw power of self-possession. It's about a man who has made his own purpose the center of his world. He doesn't chase validation because he already has it from within. And that shift in energy is something women can feel before he even says a word. In this video, we are breaking down the exact psychological principles that explain why a man who genuinely doesn't need a woman's approval often becomes the one she desires most. To really get it, you first have to understand the man I call the chaser. Does that name ring a bell? You might know him. You might even be him. The chaser is a good guy. He does everything he's supposed to. When he likes a woman, he makes it obvious. He's consistent, reliable, and always available. Does this sound familiar? He's the one texting first, planning all the dates, and showering her with compliments, almost as if he is trying to rack up enough nice points to finally win her over. His heart is in the right place, but here's the fatal flaw. He's operating from a place of deficit. He treats his attention like a currency he has to spend just to earn her affection. And what does he get in return? He often finds his efforts are met with lukewarm replies, polite rejections, or the one thing he dreads most, the friend zone. He feels like he's playing a game where the more he puts in, the less he gets back. It leaves him frustrated, burnt out, and feeling completely undervalued. For every chaser, there's a breaking point. It's a moment of clarity that's usually born from pure, soul-crushing exhaustion. Maybe it's one final unanswered text, or another last-minute cancellation. Or it's the slow, painful realization that he's made her the center of his universe, while he's just a guest in hers. And in that moment of defeat, he just stops. But listen closely, because this is not a strategy. He's not pulling away to play hard to get. He is pulling away because he has to. He realizes that while he was so desperately seeking her validation, he completely lost his own. So he stops orbiting her world and starts the slow, difficult work of finding his own center of gravity. He stops checking his phone, not to make her wonder, but because he's genuinely busy building his own damn life. He's locked in on his work, his passions, his health. Suddenly, he doesn't have the time or energy to be her constant source of entertainment, because he is finally on his own mission. It's not a performance, it's a rediscovery of the man he was supposed to be. This is the turning point, the moment a man stops seeking a world to fit into and becomes a world of his own. And this is where the paradox kicks in. Because the moment he genuinely stops caring about the outcome, he becomes radically more attractive. This isn't magic. It's psychology. First up is the scarcity principle. Think about it. We are hardwired to undervalue what's abundant and overvalue what is scarce. When the chaser was always available, his time and attention were given out for free, so subconsciously, they seemed less valuable. But now his attention is a limited resource. It has to be earned. When he chooses to spend time with her, it feels like a deliberate choice, not just his desperate default setting. And that choice has weight. It means something. The second principle is even more powerful, the signal of true confidence. What does genuine indifference broadcast? It screams self-worth. It sends a powerful nonverbal message. I enjoy your company, but my happiness and my entire sense of self are not riding on your approval. This is what real confidence looks like. It isn't loud or arrogant, it's a quiet, unshakable self-control. He knows who he is and where he's going, whether she's clapping for him or not. A woman doesn't want to be your entire world, she wants to be invited into a world that's already complete and thriving. But it goes deeper. Beyond scarcity and confidence, two other dynamics are at play. First, attraction thrives on the tension of uncertainty. Think about your favorite movie. If you knew exactly how it ended from the first scene, where's the suspense? The chaser was predictable. He laid all his cards on the table, killing any mystery. But the man who has pulled back to focus on his purpose, he becomes a story she hasn't figured out yet. and that mental puzzle is a powerful driver of attraction. This leads to the final piece, maintaining individuality. Healthy attraction needs space to breathe. When a man becomes too available and too accommodating, he can lose the very edge of challenge that creates a spark. The dynamic flattens out. But by pulling away to focus on his own life, a man reestablishes his own frame. That distance doesn't kill the attraction, it often restores the healthy separation that allows a spark to exist in the first place. So, what's the result of this massive internal shift? It can be profound. The woman who was once ambivalent may now be the one who's intrigued. The man who was desperate for her attention now has it without even asking. Why? Because he hasn't used a tactic, he has become a different man. He's no longer a satellite orbiting her, he's a star with his own gravity. She can feel his purpose, she can feel his self-respect, and that is often what triggers a deep, primal attraction. Remember this, respect comes before desire, and a man who respects his own time commands it from others. However, and this is critical, this isn't a magic trick. This only works if a baseline of attraction was already there. Indifference can't create interest out of thin air, it can only amplify what already exists. It's also stronger if the man is perceived as having high value, and a woman's own personality plays a huge role. Faking indifference when you're actually anxious and needy will always backfire. Authenticity is the only thing that works. Ultimately, the psychology of men who don't care isn't about learning to be cold. It's about deciding what you care about more. It's about prioritizing your mission, your purpose, and your self-respect above anyone else's validation. It's about choosing your own direction before you ever choose a partner. The most attractive state isn't strategic indifference, it's genuine wholeness. It has the energy of a man who is busy building his empire and is looking for a queen to join him, not a woman to fix his life for him. But know this, while this dynamic can create intense initial attraction, persistent indifference is the silent killer of long-term relationships. It must be balanced with genuine care. The real takeaway is this: the moment you stop needing to be chosen is often the moment you become the most magnetic. Not because women reward coldness, but because everyone is drawn to wholeness. What are your thoughts on this? Is genuine indifference attractive, or is it just a game that eventually fails? Share your stories and opinions in the comments below. And if this breakdown made sense to you, subscribe for more content on the real dynamics of attraction.